He came to Washington as a hero. He promised to slash $2 trillion in waste. He worked for free, sacrificing billions while they called him a Nazi and bombed his cars. Now, after exposing corruption that would make your head spin, the world's richest man is walking away from the swamp. But this is not a retreat. It's something far more dangerous for the establishment. What Elon Musk discovered in those servers, in those spreadsheets, in those dark corners of government waste, has them lawyering up and plotting revenge. The man who conquered space and revolutionized transportation just sent a 3-word message that should terrify every swamp creature in DC. So keep watching. We're going to break it all down. And just like Elon Musk exposed the government's aging and broken systems, we need to address our body's aging process. By 40, collagen production drops significantly. Wrinkles appear, skin sags, joints ache. But here's the solution. Ageless multi-collagen. 5 key collagen types from 4 premium sources. Hydrolyzed for easy absorption. No clumping, no odor, just smooth blending into your morning routine. Clean ingredients. No GMOs, no artificial junk, no hormones. Just pure collagen support. Plus, every order helps feed hungry children. So get 51% off, free shipping, and a free bonus skin guide at healthwithgary.com. Your confidence will thank you. Now, after 130 days that shook Washington to its core, Elon Musk is leaving Washington, D.C., but not before dropping truth bombs that will echo for generations. The man who revolutionized space travel and made electric cars cool just completed the most successful government reform mission in American history. And President Trump delivered the news in the Oval Office, and what he revealed about Elon's service will restore your faith in what's possible when patriots put country first. Watch this incredible moment as Trump honors the man who sacrificed everything to save our republic. Watch.
But Elon's service to America has been without comparison in modern history. He's already running one of the most innovative car companies in the world. You look at his factories and compare them with some of the old factories we have, and it's a big difference. And the most successful space company in, I guess, in history, you would have to say, the largest free speech platform on the internet, etc. Yet Elon willingly, with all of the success, he willingly accepted the outrageous abuse and slander and lies and attacks because he does love our country. I know that very much. He loves our country. He comes from another country, a country that's going through trials and tribulations, I would say. But he's all about the USA, and Americans owe him a great debt of gratitude. So I just want to thank Elon for his time as a special government employee. Can you imagine? They call him an employee, but it's a special government employee, and for coming and helping us. And he really has changed the mindset of a lot of people. A lot of people thought, maybe we'll cut 1% or 2% or 3%. Then they said, wow, we can cut a lot more than that. And we're going to do it very surgically. We're going to continue on the march. We're making America great again.
We're going to continue on the march. Did you see Elon's shirt underneath his blazer? The Doge Father. But did you catch his face, his eye? Looks like he had a little shiner there. I wonder what was going on. I don't know. We got to dig deeper. Yeah. Anyway, service without comparison in modern history. And Trump said, we're just getting started. But first, let's see what Elon actually accomplished. Trump laid out just a fraction of the insane waste that Doge uncovered in our federal budget. So prepare yourself, because these numbers might just raise your blood pressure. Watch.
Just as an example, Doge canceled $101 million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education. $101 million, and that was just a small section of the Department of Education. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. And the landlord never made the kind of money that he made in the last short period of time. $59 million to a hotel in New York City. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. In Burma. Does anyone know about Burma? $42 million for social and behavioral change in Uganda. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. I can say it's $2 billion to Stacey Abrams and her environmental movement. There was $100 in the account, and All of a sudden, they found $2 billion in the account. And I assume that's being looked at. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I assume that's being looked at. Think of that, $2 billion. And then Lee will tell you there's another one over there for $20 billion being spent on another environmental question. 20 billion, not 20 million, a lot, not 200,000, which is a lot. So think of it, in her case, you have $100, and now all of a sudden she gets hit with an infusion of $2 billion just before I take office. $20 million for Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East. Nobody knows what that's all about. Nobody's been able to find it. $8 million for making mice transgender. So they spend $8 million on making mice transgender. And those are better than many of the others. I could sit here all day and read things just like that, but we have other things to do. So it's much, much more than just that. We're
$8 million to make mice transgender. Let that sink in while American veterans sleep under bridges. The emotional moment came when President Trump presented Elon with something reserved for only the most special people, a gold White House key. Now, this wasn't just a gift. It was a symbol of what one patriot can accomplish. Watch.
A little special something we have here.
Thank you.
A very special that I give to very special people. I have given it to some, but it goes to very special people, and I thought I'd give it to Elon as a presentation from our country.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elon.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself.
Thank you. This is a lot. The luck on this is amazing.
A large luck.
That was beautiful. And someday maybe I'll get a key for fixing the news cycle, right? All right, we're going to keep moving right along here, because that's what respect looks like between two titans who actually care about America's future. And Jesse Waters, he absolutely destroyed the Democrats for driving Elon away. His monologue on The Five exposed the stupidity of attacking the one man trying to fix our broken system. Watch him lay out the brutal truth about what Democrats just did to themselves. Watch.
It was just not the right way. The process was wrong. But they were 100% behind it, guys. What say you, Jesse?
You know, Jessica's laughing that he's gone, but it's like laughing at a funeral. The Democrats' funeral. Your party's dead, Jessica.
What?
And you basically pushed the world's wealthiest man into our arms. You took...
And now he's running from you. He went on one date.
Wait,
and he's done.
This is the day that he was supposed to leave.
Yeah, he's supposed to leave tomorrow, 180 days. How do I know that and you don't,
It's
Jessica?
130.
Listen, you now made Elon Musk the Republican Party's biggest donor. Thank you. Thank you very much. You think he's just going to stop giving?
He said I'm stopping
Okay,
giving.
I've heard that before. They're going to give. You think he's not giving advance? After what you did to him, you think he's just going to bury the hatchet? After you called him a Nazi? After you bombed his cars, you think the next election he's going to be like, all right, you know what? Let the Democrats get back in there. Because what do you think the Democrats are going to do when they get back in? They're going to go all in and try to put the man in prison. They're going to try to bankrupt his companies and investigate the hell out of him. You think he's not going to give anymore? You are I'm not going to say the word idiot, but you've made a huge mistake and you don't realize how dumb it is. Also, you're saying how much you need men. Young men idolize Elon Musk. They want to be him. They want to be based. They want to ride around in his trucks, and they want to hang with big balls. And now every time you attack Elon Musk, you're attacking all of the young men that you need for your party to survive.
Yeah, and that party is dying. You heard him say it. You just pushed the world's wealthiest man into our arms. And he's never coming back to the Democrat plantation. He went on with his epic takedown, comparing Elon to the titans of American industry while exposing the pathetic Democrats trying to tear him down. This is must-see TV that shows why young men worship Elon and despise the establishment. Here's more.
It's going through really millions of line items and saying just each one of them makes sense, what does not make sense. Obviously, at times when you cut expenses, those who are receiving the money, whether they're receiving that money legitimately or not, they do complain.
You're attacking a living legend. We're talking Rockefeller, Ford, Jobs. Who's against him? Booker? He's a footnote. Liz Warren? What has she ever done? This man's expanding civilization. He's cut spending. He's actually found fraud.
Where?
You've never found it, Jessica.
And while he was doing that, he rescued astronauts that they then mocked while they praised Katy Perry.
Yeah,
No one praised Katy Perry, to be clear.
He's like, she didn't look great, that shot. He's juggling like heroic acts, and you guys are chirping at him for the silence. You had your chance. You didn't cut spending. You didn't find fraud. You made Kamala Harris the AI czar, Jessica. This is like you're upset because he set a $2 trillion goal and didn't hit it. Okay.
He ended up with $9 billion.
He did more than you did. He did more than anyone has ever
That's
done
not true.
in about 3 decades, Jessica. This is like a fan. Every NFL season.
Just let someone else talk.
No. Every NFL season, every single team tries to win the Super Bowl. That's the goal. They don't all win the Super Bowl. But you're like on the side, like, you tried to win the Super Bowl and you didn't win. You're not even playing.
You're not even playing. He's expanding civilization while you're on the sidelines eating chicken. I would probably correct him by saying fake chicken meat. But it's savage, it's true. But here's what really happened. Elon went through millions of line items, finding waste and fraud everywhere. His explanation of the software licenses alone shows why Washington hates him, because he actually did the work. Watch.
It's going through really millions of line items and saying just each one of them makes sense, what does not make sense. Obviously, at times when you cut expenses, those who are receiving the money, whether they're receiving that money legitimately or not, they do complain. And you're not going to hear someone confessing that they received money inappropriately. Never. They always say that they received money appropriately for an important cause. Naturally, that's what you'd expect. So we just have to. It's just a lot of work going through the vast expenses of the federal government and just really asking questions. What's this money for? Are you sure it's actually being used well? Many times we can't even find anyone who defends it. So for a lot of the expenses, there is actually no defender at all. And then we have to just work through the process of stopping the spending, where there's often literally no defender. Nobody even knows why the money's being spent. It's truly absurd. I mean, we find situations where there are millions of software licenses with 0 people using them. 0. Exactly. This is the quizzical expression. You're like, surely, if there's millions of software licenses, someone should be using them. No, and then we've got to go through the process of saying, okay, look, if no one's using the software, we can terminate this software license agreement. That's everywhere in the government, by the way.
Millions of software licenses with 0 users. This is your tax dollars at work, folks. The president revealed the most stunning statistic of all. What Elon achieved in just 130 days. Watch now as Trump explains how Doge delivered a colossal change to Washington's corrupt way of doing business. Watch.
Today it's about a man named Elon, and he's one of the greatest business leaders and innovators the world has ever produced. He stepped forward to put his very great talents into the service of our nation, and we appreciate it. And I just want to say that Elon has worked tirelessly helping lead the most sweeping and consequential government reform program in generations. And you know the kinds of things that he's found and his people have found. He's brought a group of very smart people in, and they found things that are pretty unbelievable. I have to say that the numbers that we're talking about are substantial, but they're going to be very much more substantial with time, because many of the things that we're working on right now, we're going to have to remember Elon as we find them, but the numbers could double and triple because many things, we don't want to go out with them until we're sure, but we've found things that are unbelievably stupid and unbelievably bad. With the Department of Government Efficiency, Elon's delivered a colossal change in the old ways of doing business in Washington. Doge has installed geniuses with an engineering mindset and unbelievably talented people in computers. I actually asked Elon one time, what's their primary thing? And they have a lot of primary things, all having to do with being smart. But he said the thing that they're really the best at is working with computers, so that they can't be outsmarted by somebody that's not so honest, that happens to also be good with computers, but not as good as these people. But the mindset in the senior ranks of every federal department, and it's really changed. And with Elon's guidance, they're helping to detect fraud/waste and modernize broken and outdated systems. So as you know, we're talking about various systems and changing systems. And, sadly, it takes a long time to do that. You'll change, let's say, a system at IRS and computerize it properly where the job can be done in 1/10 the time. But it takes sometimes years to rebuild those systems. But we've started.
With Elon's guidance, they're helping detect fraud/waste and modernize broken system. Mission accomplished. Then came the moment that proved Elon still got fight left in him. When the failing New York Times tried to attack him in the Oval Office, watch now as he absolutely cooked their fake news reporter.
The president mentioned that you had to deal with all the slings and arrows during your time at Doge. There's this.
Well, some of the people, some of the media organizations in this room were the slingers.
Well, so there is a New York Times report today that accuses you of blurring the line between.
Is the New York Times, is that the same publication that got a Pulitzer Prize for false reporting on the Russiagate? Is it the same organization?
I got to check my Pulitzer counter.
It is.
I think the judge just ruled against the New York Times for their lies about the Russiagate hoax, and that they might have to give back that Pulitzer Prize. That New York Times, let's move on.
Let's move on. That's how you handle the fake news. Peter Doocy bringing up the New York Times, and then Elon Musk knocking them out. Yes, he called out their Pulitzer Prize for lies. And move on, please. Representative Tim Burchett delivered the hard truth about why Elon's work matters. It's not just about numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about saving our country from criminals robbing us blind. Watch.
What about Doge bills? Why haven't we seen any, Congressman? Will we see any?
Because we don't have any guts. We finally brought it to the national media and everybody's attention. You and I have talked about this on ad nauseum. I was able to ask President Trump a question at our conference meeting, we had a couple of weeks ago when he was lobbying us to push the big, beautiful bill. I was allowed to ask the first question. I said, when do you think, can you get Congress off their ass and start codifying some of your cuts that you put out in your executive order? And man, it was classic Donald Trump. He went through that like a dose of salt. He let us have it. And then, of course, I knew it'd be leaked to the press, and it was, as it always is. And it kind of lit the fire, I think. And people are talking about it a lot more now. It is a disgrace that we haven't. And I know what leadership's going to say. They're going to say, Burchett, we don't have the votes for some of these things. Well, you know what? Put it up for a vote. And if they don't have the guts to vote for it, then they need to be out of office. If NPR, if we're giving them 1 red cent, and the people in North Carolina are still struggling after Hurricane Helene, just go down the list of the craziness. $10 million for circumcisions. I guess it's voluntary. But do you honestly believe that money's getting there? Elon Musk made a pretty good case, and I hope the Justice Department follows up on it. I'm not a lawyer. I'm going to talk to some, figure out how to get them on it. But he thought that there was a paper trail going right back to Washington. Now, you know good and well that dark money campaigns are funded through things like this. I have a bill that deals with defunding the Taliban, $40 million a week. The State Department, through their through a memo, a 5-page memo I have, says we've given them close to $5 billion. This is the Taliban, people we fought and Americans died fighting for. They throw homosexuals off buildings. They rape women and children, and then they stone the women. This is the people we're sending. We're sending $40 million a week to, and the reason we're doing it, because the NGOs. Do you have any idea how many NGOs are operating out of Afghanistan right now?
I have no idea, but I can only imagine.
Just a little less than 1,000. 1,000 non-government organizations that are going, that they're getting our money right now. It's going to the UN and their State Department and other departments. Look, this is the tip of the iceberg. They ought to pin a medal on Elon Musk's on his chest. These lunatics on the left that are defending this crazy expenditures, the reason they are because the money's not going there. It's going to Washington. It's paying Congress members. Listen, I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. I hope to see them in cuffs. I hope they take them, drag them out of the dadgum Capitol, and I will applaud them. I will go get a selfie with them as they're crying their tears because I'm sick of this stuff. We're stealing from the American public. Every person listening ought to call their congressman and said, I want Doge cuts on. I want you to start voting on them every dadgum week. Stop with the nonsense. I don't care who it embarrasses. We got to stop this stuff. We will lose our country.
Every daggone week, he said. I hope to see them in cuffs. That's what real accountability looks like. But Democrats aren't done. Representative Subramanyam just revealed their plan for revenge. Subpoenas, criminal referrals, the moment they retake the House. And they're coming for Elon and everyone associated with Doge. Watch.
Elon Musk's exit. He is leaving Washington. But I think that Elon Musk is just finished. I have not heard a lot of Democratic elected officials talk about the data. Elon Musk and his Doge peeps, if you will, they installed servers within the White House complex. They were integral within the Office of Presidential Personnel, which has tentacles out into every single agency. They have inroads into every single agency now. Doge was in there.
And he didn't take those servers with him.
The servers, I don't think, have left the White House. And so what are Democrats going to do about the data? Are you all going to follow up on this? What's your take on Elon Musk's being done? Because I just think he's finished. He's just finished what he was doing. Actually, he's finished. He's not done because they've still got the data.
Yeah, I heard he's on some image repair tour. I think the best way for him to repair his image is to reverse all the damage he did to our government, to the American people. And yeah, those servers are a big issue. We want to continue to investigate that. And certainly, I think some crimes may have been committed over the past 3 or 4 months, and they are going to come to light one way or another. We're going to come to light, even if it takes us getting into power again. But we will subpoena people and find out.
Anna Presley, thanks for that. Some crimes may have been committed. They're already building up their witch hunt. Well, Scott Adams, he captured what really happened here. Congress realized that nobody voted for them. Everyone voted for Doge. Everyone voted for Elon. And now the swamp is terrified. Watch.
I've been following on X Matt Van Swal, who's doing a great job of talking about the Doge situation. Here he summarizes it this way. Doge is literally one of the most popular government initiatives in history. 73% of Americans say they support cutting government waste. Trump brought in the smartest man on earth to do it, and then the left destroyed Elon for it, and the GOP won't vote on it. I can't believe this. And then Elon responded to the post. 3 words. Did my best. Whew. Wow. There's almost nothing I can say about that. You know, you probably heard me early on in the Doge process, and I was saying, you know, I love everything Doge is trying to do, but when it gets to Congress, they're just going to spend his savings. But it's even worse than that. They're never going to even codify the savings. Not the Democrats, not the Republicans. They're not even going to vote on it. So all that work, all that sacrifice that Elon Musk did to get that right, Congress is going to shit on it. And I'm almost losing my mind that we can just watch this happen. Now, it's not everybody. You know, Marjorie Taylor Greene is trying to get it codified, etc. But the fact that all that effort, it looks like, some portion of it anyway, is going to be thwarted by your own Congress, is such a tragedy. It's almost impossible to understand. It's like we're running as fast as we can toward a cliff, and we even have the smartest people in the world trying to prevent it, and even that doesn't help. What is going on here? What is going on?
Gotta love Scott Adams. Did my best. 3 words that sum up a hero's journey through the heart of darkness. The media is already trying to rewrite history. MSNBC claimed that Elon was chased out by democracy, when the truth is he completed his mission and exposed all of them. But their lies can't hide what we all saw. Watch.
And the Trump administration is far from the first to have frustrations with the courts, federal courts. We know that whether it's Bush or Obama or Biden, it's a bipartisan endeavor. However, this administration, the Trump administration, the first time to sort of vilify the judiciary in this way, to put out names, photographs, accuse them of being part of the deep state, as we talked about yesterday when this news was breaking, suggesting that it was a judicial coup, that this was something, an effort to thwart not just the will of the presidency, but the people, and talking about it in sort of incendiary terms that I know worries quite a few folks.
I think the theme of the last 2 stories that we've been talking about are welcome to democracy. Welcome to our system. It's not a judicial coup. Our system, for as long as these short-memoried people may or may not remember, has been a 3-branch system of government in which other branches have a say. And when you go back to the Elon Musk story, it's the same story. He didn't just leave. He's not just slipping out of Washington. He was chased out of Washington by democracy.
Hold the phone. Chased out of Washington. No, that's not how it happened, dude. All right? Nice trendy jacket, nice haircut. That doesn't change the fact that you're a freaking liar.
By people saying no. By people protesting so much around his cars and dealerships that...
No. My people are protesting your haircut, man.
He lost billions and billions of dollars.
Yeah, because you guys sicked your freaking minions on him. Because he was taking away all your freaking money from your pet programs at USAID. Man, MSNBC makes me so sick. No amount of hair gel and trendy jackets is going to make anyone believe a freaking word you say. Because the next news network is here to call your shit out. Flush it.
People raising their voices, by people filing lawsuits.
I'm raising my freaking voice, man. Get over it.
And by the way, Donald Trump was saying, I think he wrote, he will always be with us. That's something that Rev might say in a eulogy.
Oh, you guys want to celebrate this like it's a funeral? Yeah, Elon will always be with us, and that's why you guys are scared shitless. Yeah, he left his fingerprint right there on Washington, D.C. The Doge boys are going to continue to work. And you know what? If Elon wants to pick up the phone and make a call to the Don or any of the boys in the Doge office, you know it's going to happen. Because the game is just getting started, bitch. Buckle up.
For someone. So he will always be with us. I mean, and I...
Yeah. No one chased him out. His 130-day tenure ended exactly as planned. Mission accomplished. MSNBC, you are fake news. And President Trump summed it up perfectly when CNBC's Rick Santelli praised the economic numbers. Trump brought out the men who made it happen, including Elon's Doge team that found the fraud that nobody else would touch. Watch.
I think what I'll do, if you don't mind, I think what I'll do, if you don't mind, numbers have just come out which are rather extraordinary, and I thought I'd play a tape of one of the people who I've respected over the years, from Joe Kiernan and Rick Santelli. This just came out, and we'll just play that for a second.
Personal income is up 0.8%. That is almost triple the expectations. Yeah, I'll tell you that the income numbers, really, for the first 4 months of the year, they're stellar. They're really stellar. I mean, I could go back and look at the first 4 months of many different years. Really very strong numbers, and you're right. This administration is criticized for just about everything under the sun. I've never, ever in my lifetime had glimpses into the politics of an administration in the form of transparency like this one. Why don't we be, give credit where credit is due? Income really shooting up.
Rick, I also thought everybody was going to get one last order of imports that were going to be tariffed, and they were loading up on things. How the hell they already fix the trade, or not fix it, but to cut it in half? That's crazy. So there wasn't a lot of front loading of things that they needed before the tariffs hit.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it really does call into question some of the conventional wisdoms. And, it's going to be interesting to see what happens next month when we get this number, or we see some of the other numbers like current account, see how they fared. Because I don't know, I've been watching these numbers a long time. I don't think I've ever seen the trade deficit cut in half in 1 month.
Not bad. Not bad.
Come on, guys.
Yeah. I see Howard and Scott are here, so it's...
You see what he just did? That was a freaking boss move. Okay? The White House press pool gathered in the Oval Office, all ushered in for Elon Musk eulogy, right? Oh, Donald Trump's destroying the economy, they screamed, right? And you saw Allison. That was Allison who brought the laptop out. Put it right there on the Resolute frickin' desk for all them to see. Rick Santelli's spilling it out all over the frickin' Resolute desk, right in front of the fake news, making them actually see those numbers. Can't deny it. Right in their face. Totally blindsiding them. Yeah, that's what just happened. Boss move.
Right. You guys want to stand over here? You might as well. You're the ones that help produce those numbers, and it'll only get better. The tariffs are so important, and that's why we were so happy with the decision yesterday.
You're the ones that help produce those numbers, and they're just getting started. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. It's time for my final thoughts. Patriots, we just witnessed something extraordinary. A billionaire genius who could have spent his days on a yacht instead chose to wade into the swamp, take unlimited abuse, watch his companies go under literal firebomb attacks, and expose corruption that nobody else had the frickin' balls to touch. But Elon Musk, what'd he do? He brought in big balls in his team. They didn't just find waste. He found $160 billion worth of pure theft from the American people. And for that, they called him a Nazi. They attacked his companies and now plot criminal charges. But here's what they don't understand. Elon has planted seeds that will grow into a forest of accountability. And the Democrats and the swamp monsters will get lost in that forest, never to be seen again. And those servers in the White House, still there. That army of patriots he inspired, still fighting. The young men who see him as a hero, well, they're the future of the America First movement. So here's my question for you. Do you believe Elon Musk will run for president in 2028? I think I know the answer to that because he's not eligible. But regardless, maybe he should just run for governor of California. What do you think about that? Yes or no? Drop your answer below. And check out our merch shop, linked in the description. Wear your support proudly.